media tahu from you. Right? Jazakallah khair, all of you be here tonight for an event, a learning event that all of us inshallah will benefit from. Our respected brothers and our respected guests, Brother Firdaus Wong, the Dawah Event Organizing Committee, respective elders, community leaders and the KUM Expo Committee, right, and following the rest, our brothers and sisters who are here with us tonight. Alhamdulillah, and all praise and thanks be to Allah who have given us this opportunity to meet again in this blessed event tonight. We are grateful for Brother Firdaus Wong for his acceptance of our invitation to be with us tonight here in Melbourne and to be away from his family in spite of his busy schedules, to share his wealth of knowledge and experiences that inshallah will be a useful guide for us living here as Muslims in Australia. We hope through this event we will be able to strengthen our ukhuwah within us, the Muslims community here in Melbourne, and to continue to thank Allah for continuously showering us with His blessings and nikmah in Islam and Iman. Respected brothers and sisters, we'd like to thank every who have set aside some time tonight to be with us here. And this knowledge event wouldn't be made possible without the great organization by the Dawah Committee and the support of everyone, brothers and sisters here. Especially to Brother Firdaus Wong, project under the Dawah team, which is led by Brother Rosti, Brother Hafidi, and Brother Buhari. Once again, a big thanks to the KUM family and all those present tonight. Respected brothers and sisters, the objective of tonight's event is not only to strengthen the ties among us, but also to give us an opportunity to listen and learn and take away some of the key reminders and knowledge from the talk that will be presented by Brother Firdaus Wong. This is the line is mentioned by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Holy Quran in Surah Al-Zariyat verses 55, which means, and remind, for indeed the reminder benefits the believers. A reminder is often heard among the believers and often overlooked and need to be reminded again and again to ensure that it's always remembered. This is often reminded among those who are believers to raise the level of motivation and efforts in one another, which benefited them or raises them to a higher status of Iman. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions about these reminders bring fear to the Iman of the believers that will bring them closer and back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And all this to achieve the level of acceptance, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will eventually help them remember the reminders and advice with regards to the deen. Inshallah, we are put among the righteous and those who are sincerely receiving reminders and continue their lives as to practice the Dear brothers and sisters, I, as a representative for the whole KUM community here in Melbourne, would like to express the feeling of happiness and would like to thank Brother Firdaus Wong for his acceptance of our invitation. We hope that Brother Firdaus Wong will be happy with the lineup of activities during his stay here till completion. We would like to apologize for any shortcomings that might have arisen during the period of the whole event. We will continue to work towards continuous improvement in the coming future events, inshallah. Lastly, before I hand over back to the Master of Ceremony, I would like to do a quick introduction of the new KUM 2018 Expo Committee. The new committee is as follows. The president for the Expo for this year is Brother Jackie, and myself, Brother Suhan, is the first vice president, and we have Brother Nasi as the second president, followed by the secretary, Brother Rizal, and we have the assistant secretary, Brother Said, the treasurer, Sister Rojana, the team lead for the Muslimah, Sister Nora, the team lead for Muslimi, alright, Dr. Sharifuddin, and team lead for Dawah, Brother Rosti, the team lead for sports, which is Brother Ahmad. This new expo, inshallah, will be the key organizing committee for all KUM activities for the coming year. The expo committee will be organizing activities which are in line to these three different theme areas which we identified in the last KUM Barbecue. which is under the mind, body, and soul. You will find the new event posters coming up in the months to come, which will be in color represented in these three themes. So we hope you're able to look out for it, and you'll soon be able to identify three different type of activities that the KUM committee has and will be organizing for you. The KUM Exco committee will welcome all inputs and feedbacks and ideas to help us plan better for activities in the future. For more information, please do visit our website at www.kum.org.au. Finally, before I end this speech, I want to emphasize that all this good come from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and those otherwise directly come from us. And matter of fact, all these are by the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So that's all I have for tonight. And I would like to give you Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
And before we start again, of the talk by Firdaus Wong, we'd like to thank the committee, like to thank the Imam for Maghrib prayer just now was done by Mr. Journet, and he will be having his turn on next Sunday. But probably, most probably will be in Malay, I think, in Malay here. And everybody is most welcome to join us in KUM Center, but it is on Sunday. And without further ado, let's go on to our guest speaker again, the main guest speaker. His brother Firdaus Wong, who is very active in multiracial river Muslim. He will be heading over this
Profile.
And if you receive the nicely and not put it away as it is such another piece of paper. Okay? So it is well presented and have a good read, inshallah. And we have a good game. And I want to surround the majlis to and probably the main start to move forward a bit. That is the ladies move from back to front, and we like to have the main also. I'm going to move a bit forward.
Inna hamdulillah nahmaduhu wa nasta'inuhu wa nastaghfiruh wa na'udzu billahi min shururi anfusina wa min sayyiati a'malina may yahdihillahu fala mudilla lahu wa may yudlil fala hadiya lahu ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lahu wa ashhadu anna muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh amma ba'd. A'udzu billahi minasy syaithanir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Inna ad-dina indallahi islam. Rabbi shrah sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Respected chairman, respected presidents and the vice presidents and organizing committees of this event, brothers and sisters in Islam and in humanity, I would like to welcome all of you with the Islamic greeting. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. May peace, mercy, and blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala be on all of you. Alhamdulillah, I'm very proud and I'm honored to be here today with all of you. All these beautiful faces. Some of you I just met yesterday, and some of you today. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah, that I would like to thank Kampung Utara Melbourne. I try not to make this talk to become too official talk, like a political talk, not too boring, but I'll try to engage with every single one of you. Is it okay? Inshallah. When we say engaging, it means it is not me alone who will be giving the talk. That from time to time, I will be asking you guys some questions too. Is it okay? It seems like no. Alhamdulillah, I would like to thank the organizing committee of Kampung Utara Melbourne, in short, KUM, for inviting me to this beautiful city of Melbourne. This is not the first time I'm here in Australia. Basically, I've been to Australia for 3 times. First time was back in 2014, where I conduct a Dawah workshop in Curtin University. And then last year, December, I was there under the invitations of Malay Associations of Western Australia. And last week, I was there in Perth again to conduct a series of talks and also Dawah workshop. So if you were to ask me my experience about Australia, my experience were very much based on my experience in Perth. So, of course, I know that Perth represents the entire Australia. So this is my first time, and I hope this will not be my last time, inshallah. Now, the topic that's being given to me is about my journey to Islam. Now, before I begin, well, I've just begun. Which language should I use for the talk tonight? Pardon? English? Anyone will say Malay? So please, someone say Malay? No? How about Mandarin? Cantonese? No? I just want, please say yes so I can show to the camera and to those who are watching live that actually this is a Chinese. Although I look like Malay nowadays. So, which means we're going to have in English, right? And also some mixture of Bahasa. Or in Malay, we call it campurization. Yes, the story is about me, it's about my journey to Islam, but I will request all of you to pay close attention to what I'm going to share. Because this is my story, and my story could be your story too. And the things that will make me left my previous religions can be the reasons that why the youth today, or the Muslims today, are living the religions of peace, the religions of truth. The questions that I have before might be the questions that you have now. The questions that I used to have before might be the questions that your friends or your close friends or your colleagues or your neighbors have today. So my hope is that with this talk, you will get some input on how to share Islam with your friends. And my journey as well, I hope that you will be inspired to do da'wah. And throughout this talk as well, I will prove to you, inshallah, that da'wah is indeed easy. So what I'm going to do is that, to make it easy for us to follow this talk, I will break it into 3 phases. Number 1, I will talk about my life, why make me change religion, what make me left my previous religion, what is the turning point, what is the things that trigger me to leave my previous religion. That will be phase 1. The next phase, I will be talking about what is the turning point again that make me turn to Islam. Am I being forced to accept Islam? Am I accepting Islam because of marriage? As there's a famous saying in Malay, and inshallah I will try to translate that. This is basically a saying from Malacca. Hopefully, those of you who do not understand, how many of you who do not understand Malay over here? Just raise your hand. Okay, only few of you, alhamdulillah. So what I'm going to do is that I will give you guys some tasks. I will say some certain words in Malay, so you ask your friends next to you. Or is it okay? Like they say in Bahasa, back in Malacca, they say, bila cinta sudah melekat, like kucing rasa coklat. Yeah. It is not fair that only you guys are laughing, but your friends who do not understand Malay, they only laugh because you laugh, and they do not understand about what I'm saying just now. So please help to translate to them, inshallah. Now, of course, obviously not, I will share with you as well what is my turning point. And number 3 is that, what made me turn to da'wah? What made me involved in da'wah, inshallah? Now, number 1, let's go to the phase 1. I'm a Chinese. I was born to a very traditional Chinese family. When we talk about Chinese, what kind of religion that they are following? You know, Buddhism. But again, that is just another stereotype. It's like back home in Malaysia or Singapore, when you talk about Chinese, you always think about Buddhism. When you talk about Malay, you think about Islam. When you think about Indian, you think about Hindu. But again, is it true following? No, it's not. Because some Buddhists, some Chinese, they are not Buddhists. Some Chinese might be Christian, some Chinese might be free thinker, some Chinese might be atheists, and some Chinese might practice 3 religions: Buddhism, Taoism, or Confucianism. 3 in 1. But of course, this is not the Trinity that we are talking about. 3 in 1. Yes, I'm following Buddhism, but the Buddhism that I'm practicing is not the normal Buddhism that you all know of. The Buddhism that I practice since young is from Japan, and was what they call as Zen Buddhism. Have any one of you come across this sect called Soka Gakkai International? You have it? Have it. You know, you are aware about the existence of such organization. Yes, we are following that, and our prayers is in Japanese. But bear in mind, although I'm saying that our prayers is in Japanese, don't try to speak Japanese with me. Because that is the only thing that I know, how to chant, how to pray in Japanese. And my background is that I'm growing up in a very Muslim environment, in which majority of my friends are Muslim. I'm studying in a national school. I represent my school team in football. I represent my state team, under 12, under 14, under 16, under 18. I did represent Malaysia national squad, under 17 and under 21. And I'm the only Chinese in the team. So you can imagine that I'm being surrounded by a lot of Muslims. But you know what? I do not know about Islam. Maybe the only thing that I know about Islam is about the do and don't, such as for Muslims, you guys need to pray 5 times a day. As a Muslim, you cannot drink beer. As a Muslim, you cannot involve in gambling. As a Muslim, you cannot eat pork, which is for me personally, is very nice. Why is it weird? You can ask those brothers who have tried before, and they will tell you, is it nice or not? Okay, no worry. I'm not propagating, pork to you now. I'm not a pork seller anyway. And the best thing that they told me is that, if you want to become a Muslim, you have to cut. You know what is cut? They will say in Malay, you have to potong. Potong, circumcise. And the way they show how to circumcise is wrong either. It's completely cut. This is the way how they told me about Islam. Now, I would like to ask you to imagine this. If you were in my positions, will you be interested to find out more about Islam? If the only thing that you know about Islam is all about the do and don'ts, and it seems like you have to pray 5 times a day, you know what? My friend used to tell me, they say, YBhg, that is what my primary school friend would call me, YBhg. Islam is very easy, very simple. We only pray 5 times a day. You know what I answer them? Your Islam, pray 5 times a day is easy. You know me as a Chinese, you know how many times I pray? Sometimes, whenever I like, I will pray once a year, which is easy. Once a year or 5 times a day. You have to fast, I do have to fast. They say fasting is fine. But when it comes to the month of Ramadan, what I usually observe is that I can see that they always try to cheat. You know how they cheat? I give you some example. Maybe some of you can recall the way you cheat when you were young. When they come for Zohor prayer or Asar prayer, a Muslim should take wudu. Am I right? Ablutions. What would you do normally when you were young, when you are taking a wudu, ablution? When you need to rinse your mouth? You will gargle, and then what do? Well, you guys just make a confession, right? Why you are gargling? Okay. I mean, this is accidentally, should be okay. It will not invalidate your fasting. And I used to see this almost every single day. This is what they do. So my knowledge about Islam is very little, very minimal. But I have a very good friends among them, Muslim. And of course, when I was young, because now I'm still young, when I keep on talking that when I was young, that doesn't mean now I'm old, by the way. I'm still young. Now, when I was in the primary school, one of my teachers used to give me a Malay name, as I know. A Malay name. My teacher used to call me as Yusuf. Don't ask me why he gave me Yusuf. I also don't know why, and I don't know who is Yusuf during that time. Now, after become Muslim, I start to understand Yusuf. And there might be a reason why he gave me a name by the name of Yusuf. Maybe I'm like Prophet Yusuf. Maybe in terms of, well, you know what. Now, that is just a bit of my preview about my perceptions about my understanding about Islam when I was young. Now let me turn to what is the thing that made me left my previous religion, which is Buddhism. As a Chinese, when someone passes away, what we commonly do is that we will have a ritual. That kind of ritual we will call the monk, the scholars to come and chant. It's like in our Muslim community, we will have what we call as this doa selamat and to ask the ustad to recite something from the Quran. Now this is what they used to do. And when they chant, I do not understand any single words out of it because it's quite alien for me. But it's quite nice because they have the rhyme, they have the melodies there, they have all the equipment there. And as a kid, that time I was 11 years old. So for those kids who are 11 years old, I was 11 years old, so I have a lot of curiosity. So what I did was, I went and approached my relative and I asked them, now, what are they doing now? So my relative answered, oh yeah, the monk is chanting something in order to send the reward from this chanting, from what we know as, and is as a Muslim, the zikir, the chanting, to send this reward to your grandfather in the hope that he will be going to paradise. Sounds cool. I want my grandfather to go to paradise too. But then, I realized, in the same time, they're also doing something else. What they are doing? They are burning some paper car, paper houses, and paper money. It's not Australian dollar, it's not ringgit Malaysia, it's called as hell banknotes. Now during that time, I have questions. If you want grandfather to go to heaven, why are you guys burning all these kind of things? Which I don't understand. Because since young, we have been indoctrinated that when someone goes to paradise, they will enjoy their life there. In paradise, you have everything. But for those of you who are bad as a kid, you are naughty, you will go to hell and you will be punished. But now, why you are doing all these things, but in the same time, you hope he's going to paradise, but you are burning something for him to use in hell? Which I don't understand. So once more, I go and approach my relative and I ask them, why you guys need to burn all these kind of things? And they give me a good answer according to them. They say, oh yeah, just in case, this is like a contingency plan by the way. Just in case your grandfather could not go to paradise, if he going to hell, your grandfather can use all these things in hellfire. During that time, when this answer, I was like, how could this make sense? Because since young, we have been told that if you do good in this life, you will go to paradise. If you're a bad person, you will go to hellfire and you will be punished. Which means hell is for those people who are bad and there is no way for you to enjoy. But now the way how they explain to me, it seems like either you go to hell or heaven is almost the same. Just make sure that you have enough money, so in order for someone to do this ritual for you and to burn something for you, wherever you are. It's like telling me that even you are going to the prison, you will still enjoy all the jacuzzi, all the sauna, all the massage chair. Does this make sense to you, brothers and sisters? Does it make sense to you? During that time, although I'm 11 years old, it doesn't make sense to me. I keep on questioning them. I say, this doesn't make sense. It's not logical. It's not logical. You know what happened? In the end, they give me an answer in which after I became a Muslim, then only I start to realize that, MashaAllah, Allah have mentioned this in the Quran. In Surah Baqarah chapter 2, verse 170, and Surah Az-Zukhruf chapter 43, verse 22 and 24. In which Allah says that they follow their ancestor. And this is the same reply that I got from my relative. They say, don't question so much, just follow the scholars, the monk, they know better. This has been done by our ancestor before us. They know better. Just follow it. Now this is where I would like to pause for a while. This is the reply that I get, and this is the one key reason for me to make a decision to leave Buddhism. Because I think that religion do not have any answer for me. The moment my relative told me that you should not ask, just follow, because as a Chinese, we're also being taught that you should not follow something blindly without you asking why. You must know why you do it. Don't just do it because somebody asked you to do it. And I'm just following the same principle. And then when they told me, just follow, I could not accept. And this is one of the things I would like to share with you, the first lessons of the day. Which is, I'm one of the counselor back in Malaysia for 2 states, handling apostasy case, handling problematic Muslim, handling youth who have problem, the challenges they face. And the youngest person that I have ever handled who want to leave Islam, in fact, he have left Islam at the age of 13. A 13-year-old boy left Islam. And this is the key for our problem today. That I can see some similarity between what is happening to my life and what is happening now to the Muslim Ummah. In which, I'm not sure how many of you who are married and how many of you who have kids, who have children, young children, that we used to be asked by our children funny questions. But just because we do not know the answer, and just because we never asked, so what we did to our children? We told them the same thing. Don't ask, just follow. Am I right? None of you, maybe, might not have the courage to confront your parents when you were young. Because, no, we have to respect our parents. You know, I don't want to go to hell. Because we have been indoctrinated since young that if you ask too much of question as a Muslim, what you're going to happen? You will be like a Bani Israel, you will go to hellfire. And this has been indoctrinated. No. Which means Islam, I should not ask too much question, I should just follow. But then deep back in your heart, that question still remains there. Am I right? And up to today, we might still have the question in our heart. And it doesn't solve our problem. But when we have problem in our life, when we have difficulty in our life, what we do? That all disease come out again. And that question pop up again. And now because we are old, we have grown up, we will start to ask questions. The more people you approach, the more no you get. At the end of the day, the shaitan will trick you and tell you that, you know what, bro, sis, that Islam have no answer for you. This religion is a backward religion. This religion only for the Arab people. This religion, you look at those people who follow the religion of Islam, the so-called Islamic country, most of it, if not all, are backward. So Islam is not the right religion. That's why most of the people that you approach, they cannot provide you an answer. And therefore, will leave Islam. So what I will urge you, my brothers and sisters, those of you who are parents, and those of you who are going to be a parent soon, and those of you who plan to be a parent in the future, is that do not sacrifice the Aqidah, the faith of our children, just to protect our ego. There's nothing wrong for us to say, I don't know. There's nothing wrong to it. And there's nothing wrong for the youth, for the kids, for a Muslim to ask questions. Because when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created the angel, when we refer back to the story in Surah Baqarah, chapter 2, verse 30 to 34, Allah told the angel that He's going to create a human being as a Khalifa on earth. But then, brother and sister, did the angel just submit and don't ask questions? No. Even angels ask questions. They ask not because they disbelieve in Allah. They ask not because they want to leave the religion of Islam. No. They ask because to reaffirm their faith in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The same way how Prophet of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam, he has some curiosity in his heart as a human being. He asked Allah, oh Allah, how do you resurrect those people who have passed away, those people who have died? And then Allah says, don't you believe, oh Ibrahim? What did Ibrahim reply to Allah? He said, no. I'm asking just to reaffirm, just to increase my iman. So what Allah says? Allah says, oh Ibrahim, go and slaughter 2 birds and put it on different mountain, on the peak, and then you will see how they fly back. And that is the similarities that how I'm going to resurrect the death. Islam have the answer. But it's just that we do not know the answer. But that doesn't mean that is where we should stop, and that is where we should ask our people, our Muslim people, to stop ask questions. We should welcome them. We should praise them. We should acknowledge they're intelligent. They're willing to spend time. They're willing to ask us a critical questions. It's better to say, I do not know. Because the Quran clearly says, in Surah Nahl chapter 16 verse 43, and Surah Al-Anbiya chapter 21 verse number 7, Fas'alu ala zikri in kuntum la ta'lamun. If you do not know, ask people who know. And our Muslim youth, our Muslim people, our Muslim, they are just practicing what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded in the Quran. If you do not know, ask people who know. And you should be happy, because when our children, our Muslim, when they have questions, the first person that they approach is you, because they believe that you know the answer. So appreciate that. Appreciate that they spend time and they're willing to think for themselves. Islam is a religion for people who keep on pondering about the existence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now let's proceed. I hope I will not drag too much, because from time to time I will try to break down and share with you certain lessons throughout my life. From 11 years old, I cannot leave Buddhism. I still have to practice, despite I do no longer believe in it. For a very simple reason. I'm still young. If I don't practice, now let me ask the kids today. Girl, hi, Assalamualaikum. Did you reply my salam? When you don't pray, what will happen to you? They are so afraid to answer. They're looking at the parents. Am I right? I stand to be corrected. Am I right that we as a parent, when our children, despite it is not obligatory for them to pray yet, they might be 7 years old, 8 years old, when they do not pray, they do not join our prayers, what do? We will scold them, and sometimes we will beat them. Am I right? We will punish them. We will take away some privilege from them. Now, this is the same thing. Because if I don't practice Buddhism when I was young, my parents will take away all the privilege and they will punish me. So, I will just follow, despite I'm a bit reluctant. When I reach the age of 18, that is the time when I achieve my freedom. My freedom in the sense that, alhamdulillah, now I'm no longer a small kid. I'm grown up. I start to work and I have my own income. So I don't really have to depend on my parents. So alhamdulillah, officially, not officially in the sense that I signed any form to leave Buddhism, but officially, I left Buddhism at the age of 18. And I become a free thinker. Let me clarify what is free thinker and what is atheist. Because most of the time, when I ask the crowd, what is free thinker? They will say, oh yes, free thinker are those people who don't believe in God. I say, no. Free thinker are those people who believe in God, but they are confused which religion is the right one. They are the free thinker. Atheists are those people who do not believe in God, in the existence of God. So we must differentiate between these both. Free thinker and atheist. So I become a free thinker. I'm still a believer in God. I still believe in God. But my concept of God, I don't have all the time in this world to read all the scriptures in this world. So what I do, I make up my mind. I told myself, I believe there is God. Because Chinese philosophy also say that whatever religion you are, do good, do not harm others, do good, and then you will be going to paradise. That's it. As simple as that. So during that time, I make up my mind and I told myself, God exists, but for me, personally, God is not a human being. And human being cannot become God. Why? Because if God is a human being and human can become God, then there is no need for me to worship God now. Again, why? Because if God is human being and human being can become a God, then at the end of the day, after I die, I myself can become God too. So there will be too many gods. And when you watch all those Chinese drama and movie, what will happen in the heaven? When there's too many gods? They fight. Should we rain today? Should we have some thunder today? They will fight in the heaven. So for me, I make up my mind, no. There cannot be too many gods. For me, back then, before I become Muslim, I say, all those idols cannot become God. Because why? They do not know, those idols, that was before I become a Muslim. I used to ask too, who are this person? Who is this God? And I ask very simple question. That is before I become a Muslim. I say, who is this God? You say, oh, he is so and so. Okay, interesting. He look cool. He have the long beard, very good. But then, since when he become God? They will reply me, they become God after they die. So I say, they become God after they die? So do they know that they are God when they are alive? Don't know. I say, if a God don't know, how can they become God then? And the one who promote him to become God is more God than the God himself. In order for me to promote a CEO, should my position and my authority is bigger than the CEO himself? Yes, obviously. So I say, that doesn't make sense. And during that time back in Malaysia, few religions that I know of, Islam, Buddhism, Christianity, Hinduism. And since I have made these criteria of mine, that I say, God is not a human and human cannot become God, during that time, I have rejected almost all religion in Malaysia, except for Islam. But yet I have not become a Muslim yet. Again, because back home in Malaysia, we have the perception that Islam is a religion for the Malay. It's a Malay religion. That's why when someone become a Muslim, they will be called as Masuk Melayu. You become a Malay. Even when I go to National Registration Department to change my ID, they will congratulate me and say, oh, fantastic, since when you become a Malay? I look at her, I was like, do I look like a Malay? Look at my small eyes. I can't look like a Malay. I say, I'm still a Chinese. No, you are a Malay. Fine. And for a Chinese, you will never try to change your race. Because Chinese is a bit phobia. They dislike people who betray their own race by trying to become other race. So, I rejected all religion except Islam. But I don't become Muslim. One, because it's only belong to the Malay. And secondly, that no one have ever come and told me about what Islam is all about. So what I did was, I enjoy my life. Enjoy my life in a way that, according to my non-Muslim lifestyle. What I did was, as a Muslim, how many times do you pray in a day? How many times? 5. I already give you the answer. Nobody answer me. Just like you guys promised me that we're going to engage, right? Or are you going to break the promise? No, right? 5 times. What I did was, I used to go to clubbing, disco. The fardu is 3 times a week, not including of the tahajjud and the duha, and all the nawafil. Okay, this is my lifestyle last time. This is my lifestyle. I enjoy. I drink beer. I mean, beer is not something, I'm not trying to be very proud, to look like, oh, so now Firdaus is telling us that he's proud that he drank beer before? No. I'm just sharing with you. Last time, our level, beer for us is nothing. We upgrade our level to liquor. I'm not promoting liquor to you, but I'm just warning you. You might come across certain brands like Jack Daniel, Hennessy. Don't try to memorize. This is not Quran. You should not memorize this. Okay? Those hard liquor, normally I will just share with you our extent. I will just tell you, so the younger people, those who think of getting involved in that, before you try, come and ask me first. I will tell you how it feels. Normally, what they will do is that they will pour a bit of the liquor, and then they will put a lot of ice, and they will put some soft drink, and then we will drink it to dilute it. But you know what? We have reached a level that this is too boring. This is too old style. So what we do, rather than doing like that, there's a hole in the bottle. What we did was, we will just count 3 seconds, raise it up like this. 1, 2, 3. And then we drink neat. Without any ice, without any soft drink. And it seems, and you can feel the burning sensations on your throat. And then we get bored with 3 seconds. What we did? We go to 6 seconds. 6-second board, we go to 9 seconds. That is our crazy lifestyle last time. And my mom, mashallah, during that time, she knew that I love to go to clubbing, I love to enjoy myself. So she gave me an advice. She said, son, don't come back too late. Please come home early. Now, as a son, should you listen to your mom? Yes or no? Yes. So indeed, I did listen to my mom. So I come back early morning. Am I right? My mom is asking me, son, don't come back too late, come back early. So rather than 2 o'clock, which is late night, so I come back 6, 7 o'clock. When people go out for jogging, I will just come back to sleep. So it's early morning. So another lesson for you is that when you give advice, when you give instruction to anybody, please try to be precise and concise, and your choice of words is very important because people can manipulate your words and then to turn it into their advantage. So there's the second lesson that you have today. Now, I keep on enjoying. First phase, now we're going into the second phase. The second phase is that, and then while I'm playing football, I have an injury to my knee, and I'm being terminated by my boss because I cannot go to work, I cannot work for a few months, and then I got an offer to go to Sarawak, which is Borneo. Okay. So I accepted that offer, and I worked there. I was there for 6 months. And in Sarawak, any one of you who are from Borneo side? Anyone? Oh, you are from Sarawak? Sabah. Now, in Sarawak, in Kuching, Sarawak, those of you who have never been there, Tourism Malaysia never paid me to promote them, yeah? Any one of you who have not been there, I will encourage you to visit. A beautiful place. Okay? A beautiful place. Now, in Kuching, Sarawak, it's quite different from Kuala Lumpur. In Kuala Lumpur, when you go to certain street, when you go to the city, you will saw disco, club everywhere, especially around the KLCC vicinity. But then back in Kuching, Sarawak, it's very difficult for you to find one club or one pub. There is, but a bit further. And during that time, something triggered me. I start to ask myself, I've been going to club consistently, very istiqamah, which is not good. That istiqamah is not good. I've been going to club, I've been enjoying, I've been wasting my money. I don't get drunk always. If my memory didn't fail me, I only drunk twice. Because I'm that kind of person that I don't like to drink until I get drunk, because I don't like the feeling of drunkenness. I don't like it. Now, then I start to question myself. Because this question can be the questions that your friends have, that if you were to address them properly, inshallah, Allah might guide that person through you, inshallah. I ask myself, is my life all about enjoying, clubbing, working, and then get married, and then that's it? I said, no way, man. If this is the purpose of my life, then what makes me different from the monkey in the jungle? They also live their life. They also go to work. Of course, they don't dress like us to go to work. But what makes me different from them? I should be different. While I'm trying to get closer to Islam, one of the things also that make me afraid to get closer to Islam is because when I was in school, in secondary school, in high school, I used to ask my friend, why you as a Malay cannot eat pork? Is it an easy question? Very easy. You know what my friends answer me? They told me, why you want to know so much? Nothing to do with you. This is only for the Malay. This is only for the Muslim. If you want to know, become a Muslim first and cut first. Again, another cut. Now I've been threatened just because I ask questions. Again, put yourself in my shoe. If you are in my shoe, will you be interested to know more about Islam? That people keep on threatening you that if you keep on asking, you will be cut, you will be cut, you will be cut. No way, man. I say thanks. This religion, so much of violence, not for me, man. I don't like it. But in Sarawak, when I start to get closer to Islam, I start to look for my purpose in life. And then I encounter 2 friends of mine in Sarawak. They are Muslim. One lady and one man. Practice. One fine day, at night, they call me They say, Wong, let's go out for a drink. I said, why not? Why not? We have nothing to do. And when they arrive to pick me up, you know what happened? My friend, she's a lady, a Muslimah. In the morning, she's wearing her hijab. At night, there's no hijab. There's no hijab. I tried to have some husnuzon on her. Maybe just now she's trying to clean her hijab, but it doesn't dry on time, so she doesn't wear it. Right? Of course, you have to have that kind of good thought on people, right? And then where they brought me? They brought me to a pub. This is a kafir last time. This is the ex-kafir, as per se. I am the one who's supposed to bring them to pub, not those who believe in Islam who bring me to pub. I was surprised. They brought me to pub. I thought, okay, maybe they want to enjoy some music there. Okay, fine. So when we reached there, they say, Wong, you sit there. We will go and order for you. They went to the bar. I thought they were going to order some soft drink for me. They ordered beer for me. I was like, in the morning you have your hijab. Now you don't have your hijab. You are Muslim, you are not supposed to drink. And you, not only you drink, you even encourage me to drink. Come, yam sing. Oh, wow, you're not bad, huh? You know how to say yam sing as well? Yam sing is like, in English you say cheers. And during that time, I start to question, God, are you playing with me now? I'm trying to look for the purpose of my life, and now you are sending these two Muslims who show me these kind of things? During that time, I almost give up. But then, alhamdulillah, Allah continued to give me some strength, and then I get some courage, and I start to confront my friends. This time, I tried to be very provocative. I asked them, bro, me as a Chinese, when we worship, we saw something in front of us. You as a Malay, what do you worship? And they, my friend answered me, oh, we worship God. I said, you worship God? Where is your God? I cannot see your God. And he answered, oh, God exists, but you can't see him. I said, come on lah, makes sense. Seeing is believing. If you cannot see something, how can you believe in it? They say, no. There's a lot of things in this life that exist, but you can never see it. I say, I don't believe you. Give me some example. So he told me, do you feel the wind? I say, yeah. Can you see the wind? I say, bro, look at the tree. The tree are moving. That is the wind. My friends replied, no, Wong, that is not the wind. That is the effect of the wind. Just imagine, the wind which is being created by God. He don't use Allah during time. The wind which is being created by God, you do not see it, but you feel it, and you can see the effect of the wind. What makes you think you can see the God that created this wind? God exists. You feel it, you feel the existence of God, and you can see the effect, the manifestations of God in His creation. What do you think about his answer? Is it good or bad? In the scale of 1 to 10, how many points will you give to him? 1 to 10. How many? 10. Just now, I heard somebody say 11. You are not following my instruction now. 1 to 10. You give him 10? You know what, brother and sister? For some of you who might be watching live, and some of you who might be here, for some of your friends, that when you are using this kind of same analogy, they might not be convinced. But you know what? This is the answer that convinced me that, okay, makes sense. God exists. It seems like more makes sense to me. And because of this simple answer, I make the decisions to become a Muslim. That is the turning point, the second phase. But then the challenge started. Before I became a Muslim, I was still there in Sarawak, in Kuching. So what I did was, I called my mom. This is the most difficult part, where you have to inform your parents, your family, that you want to become a Muslim. You don't expect them when you tell them you're going to be a Muslim, and you say, wow, you're going to be a Muslim? Bravo! No. Don't expect that. If you get that, I would say, MashaAllah, congratulations. You have a fabulous, you have a fantastic family. Don't expect that. When I dial, I call up. Of course, I don't give salam. I talked to my mom and I told her that I will be back to Kuala Lumpur very soon. And then she said, very good. And I want to do something when I'm back to Kuala Lumpur. She asked me, what is that? During that time, you know, it's like, this is the most difficult hours. Then I told her, Mom, I want to become a Muslim. And then there is a long pause on the phone, on another line. And it seems like I've been waiting for 1 hour there. But actually, it's just only for less than 1 minute. But the way I felt is that I've been waiting for 1 hour now. I'm afraid that my mom will get, she might fainted because of the news, or she has nothing to say. It's quite a surprise for her. Then, at last, there is some voice from the opposite. She said, up to you. Your life, you choose. But I just give you one advice. Religion is not for you to keep on going, converting, and then changing, converting. And you know, being a Muslim, you cannot go out. So make sure you don't regret. So I told my mom, no worry, Mom, no regret. I will never blame anyone. And during that time, I went back to Kuala Lumpur, and officially, I recited my Shahada 10 August 2005. So this year is the 13 years that I become a Muslim. Now, that doesn't stop there. I'm talking about how many faces just now? How many faces? 3. I want to make you guys to keep on following. 3 faces. Yes, I have become Muslim. I recited my Shahada. I pray in the month. I'm not praying in the month of Ramadan only. Okay, slip of tongue. I pray 5 times. I fast in the month of Ramadan. I pay my zakat. I do everything possible. But this will lead you guys to my 3rd phase of my life that involve what I'm doing now. Is that during that time, when I just become Muslim, the head, the leader who bring a group to club, the leader who bring people to eat bakute. You know what is bakute? Bakute is bone meat tea. Okay, bone meat tea, which is pork normally. Now, this is the guy who will make the arrangement, who will make the plan, and provoke any single one of my friends to go and join me. I am the one who bring them to the club. So you can just imagine, the head of gangsters is no longer a gangster. We even have our own unofficial club by the name of Clubster. So you can see how much we love clubbing last time. So when I become Muslim, most of my friends who used to go to clubbing with me, they say, it's okay lah, you become Muslim, but it's okay. Let's go and enjoy. Let's go and enjoy. It's okay, nobody know. None of us will tell anyone, no worry, no worry. I say, no, I'm not going there. It's okay. You don't tell anyone, we don't tell anyone, it's okay. I say, no. I have made the decision to become a Muslim. I don't expect that you will respect and accept my decision, but for me personally, I should respect my own decision by following what Islam taught me. If Islam say no, I should say no. Yes, I love to eat pork. I don't mind to tell you. Even if you ask me, Brother Firdaus, do you miss pork now? I will say, yeah. Why should you be Brother Yusha, do you eat pork last time? No? Where's Brother Tariq? Brother Tariq, do you eat pork last time before you become Muslim? Is it nice or bad or good? Not nice? Come on, you have been eating for how many years? When people ask me when I become a Muslim, even nowadays, when they ask me, bro, I just want to ask you one question. A very simple question. Is pork nice? The way I reply nowadays is a bit sarcastic. I told them, bro, can you just imagine, if pork is not nice, do you think I'm going to eat pork for 22 years? It's like I'm asking you, is chicken nice? If chicken is not nice, you were not going to eat for 22 years. Am I right? And obviously Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make something which is tasty to be forbidden as a test. If Allah makes stone as haram, it's not a test anymore because nobody eats stone. So there is a logic things. So I no longer, and then they start to boycott me. They say, okay, now you are not my friend. You no longer go to club, you no longer belong to me. You know what? I reply them, I'm very sure about what I told them. I say, brother, if this is what you want, I'm fine with it. So a friends like you, I can get minute out there. A friends who know only how to enjoy with me and were not willing to accept who I am. I don't mind. As I say, I don't expect you to accept my decision and to respect my decision. But at least you can respect my own decisions, that this is what I want. I never question your choice of your religion. Why when I choose to become a Muslim, you question my choice of my religion? I never question what you eat, what you dress. Why do you like to question the way I dress and the way I pray? I never question how you pray. Why do you question me now? If you treat me as your friend, you will respect me and you will still accept me. And yes, slowly, most of my friends who used to go to clubbing with me, who used to go and do things which is haram, they left. I don't have a lot of friends. But Alhamdulillah, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. Now I would like to bring you guys to the third phase of my life. From 2005 to 2011, 6 years. If you were to meet me last time and ask me, Firdaus, what is articles of faith and pillar of Islam? My answer to you is very consistent. Consistent not because I know the answer. Consistent because my own answer is Wallahu alam bisawab. I know nothing about articles of faith. I know nothing about pillar of Islam. I don't even know what is the name of the father of our beloved Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Last time when people say this salutation, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, back in my mind, I was like, what language are they talking? What language do you speak? What Sallallahu? My tongue cannot say Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. I can't. I don't know what they're talking about, and no one ever explained to me, and I don't even care to ask them. When they say Radiallahu anhu, Radiallahu anha, I was like, wow, the Arab people name very long, huh? It's like Ali ibn Abi Talib Radiallahu anhu, wow, really very long. And then when they talk about scholars, Rahimahullahu ta'ala, okay, quite long also. Wow, why all their father name seems like the same, Radiallahu anhu, Radiallahu anha? I don't know. I have no idea at all. So my knowledge about Islam during that time is not shallow. I would say it's almost non-existent, except that I know I should not do this, I should not do that, very minimum. I don't even know what is ghibah, what is backbiting. I don't even know what really will make my fast invalid. I don't even know. I only know the things that will invalid my fast is that if I drink and if I eat, that's all. Nothing much. But I still practice. Alhamdulillah. And then one fine day, 2011, on New Year, 1st of January, one of my friends who is a revert, is a late sister, she married, and she invited me, she told me, Firdaus, I would like to invite you to a revert gathering. I was like, revert gathering? Sounds cool. Because when you become a Muslim, back then, you felt like you are the only revert in this world. You feel so lonely. Am I right? It's like nobody cares about you. The only thing that people care about you is that after you recite La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah, immediately they will do takbir Allahu Akbar, and then they will hug you. They will hug you twice, 3 times. It depends on which country they belong, which country they come. And then after they hug you, they don't even have your numbers, and they say Hasta la vista, baby. Bye-bye. That's the only time they meet you and they hug you. Now, during that time, she invited me to go to a revert gathering, and she said, oh, I'm going to invite you, and this sheikh, he is a Chinese like us too. He is very famous. And then when she told me the name, I say, I don't know this guy. Who is him? I don't know. She said, no worry. You just go. After that, I will introduce you to him. I used to attend his class, she said. Okay, I said, okay, let's go. Since, we Chinese love to eat, yeah? As long as you say something that there is a gathering and there is a food and drink and it's free, that's it. That's why the first thing when you meet a Chinese, it's not ask about how are you. Don't ask them how are you. What you should ask them? Have you eaten? The first thing. Have you took your breakfast? Have you took your lunch? The first thing, not say hi, hello, assalamualaikum. Okay, of course as a Muslim we say assalamualaikum. But if you meet a not yet Muslim, don't ask them hi, how are you? But say, have you eat? If they say, not yet, okay. Go and eat first. Then when you are at the dining table, only ask them, hey, by the way, how are you? That is a process for the Chinese. For a Chinese, you can attract them with food first. So I went there, and you know what? This sheikh, he's just sitting in front, and the thing that he shared is very basic. He's just talking about articles of faith, pillar of Islam, and how to be a good Muslim. Responsibility as a Muslim to your parents who are not yet Muslim. And that is the first time I heard this term called not yet Muslim. I was like, this sheikh is quite cute, you know, during that time. Because I was sitting there, it's like a kids watching a cartoon. You know the kids watching the cartoon? How was their reactions? They would just watch the cartoon without blinking their eyes. That is me. I was like, and that time I don't have beard, by the way. I don't have beard. I was like, wow. 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 So nice. It's so easy. I never know this. And then right after that, she introduced me to him. And then I asked him to give me a piece of advice. And then the first piece of advice that he gave to me is that, Firdaus, you have to do da'wah. I was like, da'wah, what's that? Of course, he explained, it's an invitation to call people to Islam. I was like, da'wah? What do you mean da'wah? I mean, invite people. Why should I do it? And he told me, because you are Muslim, you should do it. I said, Ustad, I know I'm a Muslim. But you know what, Ustad? I'm making a confession. I don't know articles of faith. I do not know pillar of Islam. How can I call people to Islam when I do not know the basic of Islam? He said, it's okay. You just convey what you know. But Ustad, you know what? I really don't have enough knowledge about Islam to convey. How if people ask me a question that I do not know how to answer? Then he asked me one question. How you become a Muslim? What do you recite? I say, yes, this one I remember. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammad Rasulullah. The next one, he said, khalas. That is sufficient. I said, what? What do you mean by sufficient? Because the Prophet ﷺ says, Baligu ani wala ayah. Convey from me even one ayah. And when you recite the Shahada, there is 2 ayat, sufficient enough. Then I tried to look for more excuse. I said, Ustad, look at all the born Muslim. Most of my friends, they don't even do da'wah. Why this revert who know nothing about Islam, basically, need to do? Why me? Why not them? Then he gave me an answer. Firdaus, you know what? They supposed to do. They need to do da'wah. But on the day of judgment, you will stand alone and they will stand alone. Allah will ask them and Allah will ask you. But obviously, for sure, Allah will not ask you why they didn't do what they're supposed to do. But Allah will ask you why you didn't do what you're supposed to do when you have the means to do it. You must prepare the answer for Allah the same way they have to prepare the answer for Allah. If they don't prepare, they will face the consequences. So you should prepare. And during that time, what options do I have, brother and sister? I have no option. With very limited knowledge, I embark on a journey. On a journey of seeking knowledge. From someone for the first 6 years, I wasted my first 6 years as a Muslim. I know nothing about Islam. I didn't really attend classes. Right after I met this man, most of you might know him, by the name of Sheikh Hussein. He is my teacher. He's the one who inspired me. He's the one who motivated me. He is our advisor now. I never seek knowledge. I never attend classes. After I met him, right after that, it's like 180 degree changes. In which every single day. And during that time, when I met him, my positions, my professions, I'm a senior account manager in a public listed company involved in online advertising sales. My salary per month, on average, is 5 figures per month. Alhamdulillah. Almost every single day, after work, what I will do, I will not head back home. I'm married during that time. I'm married already. I didn't head back home. I will go for classes. And when I go to work, normally I will switch on the radio. And I will always get frustrated if I'm stuck in the traffic jam. But after the day I met Sheikh Hussein Ji, and he gave me the inspiration and the motivation to move, I don't switch on the radio. I change it to MP3. While going to work, back in Kuala Lumpur, it's always traffic jam. You were stuck in the traffic jam for half an hour, up to 1 hour, and sometimes even more. Now I become a happy man when I stuck in the jam. I hope it will really stuck for 1 hour. Because so I can finish my lecture for 1 hour in the car. When I finish working, I was stuck in the jam as well. I hope it will really again stuck again for 1 hour. So going back to work, I will get 2 lectures, 2 hours. And then I will go for another lecture, almost every single day. And on the weekend, I will attend seminar and courses in which I have to invest 250 to 450 ringgit Malaysia, which is quite a lot for us back in Malaysia, to attend classes. And I would like to share with you one particular seminar that really changed my perspective on who is Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And that course is conducted by a sheikh from US, Sheikh Abdul Bari Yahya. He conducted a seminar by the name The Shepherd Path, talking about the life of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It's a 4-day course, double weekend. But a night before the officials program begin, he started with 1 hour preview of the talk, of the seminar, in which he is narrating to every single one of us, 300 plus, about the moment where the Prophet ﷺ passed away for 1 hour. And then up until the moment that the Prophet ﷺ passed away, and when he talked up until the moment where Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu anhu, he fall up unto his own knee because he cannot bear the news, the fact, the reality that the beloved Prophet Muhammad ﷺ have passed away. And then he stopped there and he looked at every single one of us. And he asked us one very simple question. He said, why none of you shed tears? Why none of you cry? And deep in my heart, I was like, why should I cry, man? I don't pay 450 bucks to cry. That is my question. And why you are forcing me to cry? And then he said, you know what? If I were to talk about the moment your loved one, your parents, the ones who helped you in your life, the moment, I'm just mentioning their name. I'm not talking about the moment they pass away. You will shed tears, you will cry. By remembering and recall what they used to do for you, you will cry. But now I'm not talking about your parents. I'm not talking about your friends who did a lot for you. I'm talking about a man who sacrificed his entire life in order for you to get Islam today. The greatest man who ever walked on the face on the earth. And none of you cry? You claim you love the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But it's just a lip service. You say you love him, you don't even know who is this man. When he said this, I was like, I'm being slapped on both fronts, on both sides. And I don't expect to pay 450 bucks to be slapped by him. And then he gave us a guarantee. He told us, if you were to attend this class, this seminar, full seminar for 4 days, on the last day, I will narrate to you the same story. I will guarantee you that you will cry, even I don't have to force you. If you don't cry, if you don't feel, if you do not know this man better than before, money back guarantee. I will give you back your money. I was like, wow, money back guarantee seminar. Amazing. And you know what, brother and sister? On the last day, when he narrated the same story. How the Prophet ﷺ, he was lying on the lap of Aisha radiallahu anha, and Abu Bakr was away, and up until the moment the Prophet ﷺ is officially there and he passed away, we have no time to look on other people. One thing for sure that I know is that I myself is crying. And I know the person next to me is crying. The person next to me is crying. The person sitting in front of me is crying. The person behind me is crying. And I have no time to look at other people who are crying, because the only thing that I know is that the Sheikh keeps quiet because he himself is crying on the stage, and I can hear in the entire auditorium is that people is crying. And then the Sheikh continue. Then during that time, I start to talk to myself. I say, now only I know this man. The man that I bear testify that he is the messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. His name, his lineage. I might not know every single thing. And from that day onwards, one of my favorite topic, not for me to talk about, but for me to learn and for me to listen to, is about Sirah. The more I know about Sirah, the more I love the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The more I know about him, the more I know about his wife, the more I know about his children, the more I know about the companion radiallahu anhum. And then Sheikh Abdul Bari Yahya, he come up with a conclusion. He say, brother and sister, if there is only one word to describe the life of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, there is only one word: da'wah. His entire life, from the moment he received the revelations of Surah Al-Alaq, chapter 96, verse 1 to 5, Iqra, Bismi Rabbika Allazi Khalaqa, until the day he died, is all about da'wah. He was offered women, he do not accept it. He was offered power, he do not accept it. He was offered money, he do not accept it. Am I right, brothers? That this is the three important things that men are looking for in life: women, positions, and wealth. Yes. But the Prophet ﷺ never accepted this. And because of this, we have Islam today. And then Sheikh Husseini also remind me to do da'wah. I start to do my da'wah. I start to fall in love. When challenges come, I remind myself how the Prophet ﷺ go through his life. When I face challenges in my da'wah today, I will tell myself, Firdaus, the difficulty and the challenge that you face in your life and in your da'wah activity is nothing close to the one that are faced by the Prophet ﷺ. If he choose to give up, if you choose to give up, if the Prophet also choose to give up, you will not have Islam today. Strike. Continue. And then in 2013, I'm coming to the ending now. In 2013, I started to do da'wah, and I really fall in love with da'wah. And no one ever forced me to make this decision. But then with the guidance of Allah, with the help of Allah, I make a very bold decision, which is to resign from my job as a senior account manager earning 5 figures a month, to do da'wah full-time without any basic salary, in which my parents don't understand, in which a lot of my friends don't understand. Why you have to quit? You can continue to do your own da'wah. You know? You can still work. Why you have to quit? I say, when you love something, this is something that you're passionate about. This will remind me about one talk by Sheikh YBhg, in which he said, passion is not what you dream at night. Passion is that you willing to sacrifice your sleep in order to fulfill your dream. Passion is not that you do it when people pay you. Passion is something that you're willing to pay to do it. If you're passionate about Islam, if you're passionate about da'wah, you don't really think about money, despite you need money in life. But my only motivation during that time is that Allah make a promise to the believer. In Surah Muhammad, chapter 47, verse number 7. Ya ayyuhallazina amanu, in tansurullaha yansurkum. Oh, you who believe, whosoever who help the religion of Allah, Allah will help him. I quit. My mom don't understand. And before I do full-time da'wah, it is even very difficult for me to give monthly pocket money to my family, to my mother and my father. 100 ringgit per month is very difficult for me. After I start to do da'wah, I still face a difficulty. But alhamdulillah, now the things getting improved. And then I started the NGO, that multiracial reverted Muslim. And then we thought of buying a shop lot. Budget 500,000. Hopefully we can pay monthly 2,000. Inshallah we can do it, because we want a center like you guys have now. And then I advertise on Facebook. I'm sharing this not to boast. I'm sharing this to motivate you. That if you are really doing for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, never afraid that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, never have doubt in your mind that the help of Allah is there for you. You just have to be patient. I posted on my Facebook that we are looking for a unit. Quite a number of real estate agents call me. They say they have this, they have that. And then one fine day, one fine night, I still remember, I have having a dinner with my family. A man called me. He's offering for free his office in Putrajaya, which is far, because Putrajaya, that place, is majority Muslim. So on the phone, I already rejected him without me meeting him. Because I say this is not the place that I want. I want a place where there is some good transportations, good public transportations, and there is a mixture of Muslim and not yet Muslim. So he told me, what do you really need? I said, let's meet up. And he agreed to meet up. And this man never met me in my life. I never met him. I never know him. He know me through my Facebook only. And then when I met him in his office in Putrajaya, he asked us, what is your budget? I said, we have no budget. We have no cash. The only thing we can do is to do this and do that to raise some fund. So he asked us, have you surveyed some building, some office? I said, yeah, but a bit over our budget. How much? We told him, 2 million. Okay, bring me. Have a look. Just imagine, this is a man that I never met before. I never met before. I brought him to one place in Wong Maju. We go and look at the place, visit every single floor. At the end of the visitations, he asked me one crucial question. Are you sure this is the place that you want? I say, yeah, but we can't afford it. We can't afford it. Because we only need one, and we cannot afford 2 million ringgit. He said, okay, fine. I will buy it for you guys. And he paid 2 million ringgit cash to the owner of the building. To the owner of the building. Now, who sent this man to us? It's Allah, who never know us. And then, of course, we can ask money from him for renovations, but we don't. We managed to raise 30,000, but the cost of renovations is near to 200,000. But you know what? I'm crazy. So I told the contractor, start work. My friends is questioning me. Are you crazy? We only have 30,000 and you're starting a work which costs 200,000? You just have to work. Allah can split the Red Sea for Moses, not because Moses hit the stick hard enough to split the Red Sea, but because Allah just required Moses to do something and Allah will do miracle for him. You just have to believe in Allah. When we almost come to completion, in which we can't even raise a lot of money, after one of my talk, the organizer called me. Brother Firdaus, good news. I said, what good news? My friend, she would like to donate to your organization. I said, good. She's going to donate a lot. I said, good. Individual donation, I think 5,000-10,000 is a lot. But still will not solve my problem. She said, a lot. I said, how much? A lot. How much? A lot. I said, please, tell me how much. So she told me, and before she told me the figure, I asked her, did she attend my talk just now? She said, no. Then how can she donate to me? Because just now after you went home, and then, you know, one of the things that I still recall, there is a Jumaat. After the talk, I go for my Friday prayers, and I ask Allah in my sujood, help us. And then she said, her friend came, and then her friends And then out of sudden, she just bring out the topic that, you know, just now we have a talk, a brother, a Chinese Muslim who become a Muslim, blah, 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 and he's doing that one now, and now he's doing this. And then all of a sudden, her friend, okay, I think I want to invest in my akhirah. Okay. You know how much? She's giving us 200,000. But at the end of the day, the organizer on the same day came to us and passed us a check, 150,000. But it's good enough to solve my problem. And you know what? The help of Allah keep on coming. A man came to our office just to meet me 10 minutes. And up until today, I never met him. Supposed to be 4 o'clock, but he waited until 6 o'clock because the schedule is packed. He talked to me for 10 minutes and he just told me, Brother Firdaus, I can't do what you are doing. But I appreciate what you guys are doing for Islam. I hope you will continue to do it. And this is my little support for you. And then he left. He just left a bag and he left. I opened up the plastic bag. It's a stack of 50 ringgit. And when I asked my staff to count it, it's a 42,000 ringgit Malaysia cash. This guy just bring over. Who is helping us? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And today, alhamdulillah, my organization has been 4 years. And the help of Allah keep on coming. And if you were to tell me when I first become Muslim that one day I will be here in Melbourne talking to you guys, I will say, you are crazy. If one day, during 2011, when I first started to do da'wah, small scale, and you will tell me that Firdaus, one day you will conduct workshop overseas, I will say you are crazy. When you told me, if you tell me that Firdaus, one day you will go to Africa to propagate Islam in Africa, in a land that most of the people will not go, I will say you are crazy. If one day you will tell me that Firdaus, you will study under Dr. Zakir Naik, the world-renowned preacher, I will say you are crazy. And you know what? Allah is not crazy. Allah make every single thing happen. 4 years. We have been to more than 20 countries to do da'wah. And now at 4 years, alhamdulillah, we are growing. From the first years, we only have 2 staff. 4 years down the road, now, today, up to now, we have 15 staff. And we are expecting to have 43 staff by end of the year. Because we're going to launch our online Islamic channel, as well as propagation through social media. And it has been proven so far to be very effective in defending Islam, to clear the misconceptions about Islam. For the past quarters, from November until December, or November until February, our social media network have reached out to 25.5 million of people. And we are expecting it to grow from strength to strength. So my dear brother and sister in Islam and in humanity, in conclusion, do not give up on the mercy of Allah. Always trust that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will be there to help you. Allah will help us not when we want it. Allah will help us when He decides to help us. And when He don't give us the things that we ask for, trust Him that He is not the creator alone. He has other attributes such as Al-Alim, the all-knowing, Al-Hakim, the most wise. He knows what is best for us. If Allah decides something doesn't mean for you, don't never regret. Because Allah says in Surah Al-Inshirah, chapter 94, verse 5 to 6, فَإِنَّ مَعْ الْيُسْرِ يُسْرًا إِنَّ مَعْ الْيُسْرِ يُسْرًا. Verily, with difficulty come ease. And I would like to end my talk with a quotation from Quran in Surah Al-Azab, chapter 33, verse number 71 and 72, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Ya ayyuhallazina amanu taqullah wa qulu qawlan sadida yuslih lakum akmalakum wa yaghfir lakum dhunubakum wa ma yuti illaha wa rasulahu faqad faza fawzan azima. O you who believe, have righteousness, have taqwa, and speak the truth, and Allah will improve, will increase your worship, and Allah will forgive your sin. And whosoever who believe and follow the guidance from Allah and His Messenger, verily they have achieved true success. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant all of us and our offspring success here in this dunya and akhirah. Wallahu alam wa akhiru da'wana. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Yeah.
Alhamdulillah, Jazakallah khair, Brother Firdaus. And whoever had any question or any doubt, anything that to clarify, you can ask Brother Firdaus regarding the topics tonight, or something else you want to share with me, inshallah. And we have a little bit of time, probably up to 10 o'clock. Is questions open to the floor. It's either maybe you can write it on piece of note, or you want to ask directly to Brother Firdaus. You can pass the mic maybe, inshallah.
Yeah, before the brother asks the questions, I just give you one condition to ask me question. Okay, just one condition. I'm very reasonable. The condition is, you are not allowed to ask me difficult questions. You're only allowed to ask me easy questions. So I will look good in the recording. Tafadhal. Just on. Do you have the mic? Yeah. Or maybe you can come closer. You can come closer.
A lot of us who are youth and we go to uni and study and we interact with a lot of non-Muslims. How do you advise us to bring them closer to Islam, or even introduce the topic of Islam? Because it can be very intimidating for us to start a topic.
Okay. A very interesting question related to da'wah, in which our brother. Okay, we take two questions. Okay, good. Hopefully I will remember both questions. Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
As a mother myself, I'm just curious how's your relationship with your mom now? How does she think about your journey up to where you have come? And what is your own experiences of doing that well with your own family?
Okay, sure. I will go with the easiest one first, yeah? As they say, ladies first. Okay? But in Islam, men first. Huh? The men have to walk in front to protect the woman, not ask the woman to protect you. Huh? Okay. The question is related to my personal life, is that how is my relationship with my parents now? Okay? And how was my experience doing da'wah to my own family members? Their acceptance to my, to me become a Muslim. Now, when I become a Muslim, my parents, they are not too proud, neither they reject me. No, they don't reject me, they accept me. And when I potong, when I have my circumcisions, okay, they are the one who look after me. They are the one who look after me. They don't go out and tell their friends that, you know, their son have become a Muslim, because they don't think that is something to be proud of, obviously. Okay? It's not something that you're being proud of. What's more about, it's just 4 years after September 11. So you don't really want to tell people that your son have become Muslim. You don't want to create questions for people to ask you. So they never proud. They don't really go and tell my relative. And of course, eventually they know. Okay? They get to know. So life goes on. I never talk to them about Islam. When they ask me about Islam, during the 6-year period when I'm very ignorant about Islam, when they ask me certain questions, I do not know the answer. I will just ask them, I will shout at them. I will ask them, keep quiet, shut up. Don't ask too much. Your religion, my religion. And during that time, I do not know that I need to do da'wah. And back in my mind, have that kind of thought that it's okay, my mom and my dad is a good person, so they were going to heaven. That is my akidah, in which it's not true. So then, 2006 to 2005 to 2011, I didn't do any da'wah. But after I start to learn more about Islam, you know the Chinese, just a bit of background, I will not say all, but I will just share with you my own experience and some experience from people around me. The Chinese, their value is very good. Last time, respect to the elders, very good. But the new generations today, when the parents scold them at the scale of 1, they will increase their volume to 10. They will shout back to their parents. This is what we used to do. We will fight back. This is me last time. Very hot temper. So after I start to learn more about Islam, you know what? I never hug my mom, I never hug my dad. Never kiss them. So after I start to do da'wah, I start to learn more about Islam. Then I start to change. I start to do da'wah. And then when I start to grow my beard, the first challenge. The first challenge is from my mom. My mom, when she met me, she asked me, "You forget to shave for a few days?" I said, "No, I want to keep my beard." "Why you want to keep your beard?" I said, "Because I learned that keeping a beard is," I don't tell her that it's wajib because she don't understand what's wajib. Because, you know, keeping a beard look more man. That is the only excuse that I can give, right? Because if I were to tell her, this is sunnah, you know, the Prophet keep this, she will not understand. So she said, "But it's okay. You are Chinese, you just become Muslim. You see how many Malay, they also don't keep." Because the benchmark for them is always the Malay. It's like for you in Australia, it's like, you know, if the Arab don't do it, you don't do it. That kind of mindset. It seems like the Arab have represent Islam. It's not. So the same mindset was back there in Malaysia. But I keep on, I said, "No, I just want to keep." And then eventually, she keep on offering me, go and shave. I say, "No, I want to keep my beard." And it's been a very challenging time for me, not only from my family, because during that time I was working in a public listed company. My boss, who is a not yet Muslim, he asked me the same question. "Firdaus, you forget to shave?" I say, "No, boss, I want to keep." Few weeks later, it became longer. He no longer asked me properly. He said, "Why, Firdaus? You want me to become a Taliban?" Yeah, this is what I face. And then when I, you know, alter my pants above the ankle, my mom asked me, "Why you want to follow Michael Jackson?" Michael Jackson followed the Prophet. The same thing with my boss, with my colleague. They asked me, "Firdaus, why out of sudden your pants shrink, is it?" They don't understand, but I say, I'm not there to argue with them. Then I start to share with them about Islam. And the thing with my parents is that they don't have a lot of questions about Islam. That makes things difficult for me. That's why I always told those people who become Muslim, if your parents have a lot of negative things about Islam, I say congratulations. Reason being is that when they have a lot of negative, they will ask you questions, and that is a moment you have the opportunity to do da'wah to them. If they don't care about religion, it's like, lakum dinukum waliyadin. They will tell you first before you tell them. Then it's very difficult for you to create the conversations for da'wah. And my parents don't have that kind of perceptions about Islam. You practice yours, you practice mine. Then I start to share with them about Islam, answer questions. Some Chinese, they say, "Oh, we Chinese origin from stone." We are origin from stone. So I say, "No, we are not from stone." You know, "No, we are from monkey." I say, "We are not from monkey." So I keep on answering them. I've been doing open da'wah. And then in 2013, I got an offer from a production house to become their host for a travelogue, in which they will shoot a 13-episode documentary about the Muslim in China and visit their mosque by the name of Tetamu Masjid China, the guest of the mosque in China. I never applied for it. I don't know why they selected me. But I accepted it. And I went to China in 2013 for 5 weeks to shoot the documentary. And it's still there in Malaysia. They're still airing this same program. And after that program, my mom and my dad start to become more proud about their son. It's that last time when I playing football, they don't like me playing football. But the moment I was selected to play for Malaysia under 17, my mom and my dad, when they met up with my relative, they say, oh, you know, he's not here in Malaysia. He went to overseas. He played for Malaysia. The only Chinese. A proud parents. Huh? So after I appear on TV as a TV show, as a TV host, then they become proud. Oh, yeah, my son, he's become a, you know, he appeared on TV, interview here, interview this TV, on this TV. They become proud. And even my relative, when they met me on Chinese New Year, I do not know why she did it. It's my auntie. When the show is on the TV, she would take a camera with all the Kodak inside. She would take pictures of me on the TV, and then they would show me, hey, I watched your show, you know, this is your album. I was like, I can give you all the pictures, you don't have to take. I can give you a soft copy. So my relatives start to ask more about Islam, and then my parents become more acceptance for me as a Muslim, become more proud. And I never invited them to mosque. Until one day, I just give it a try. I say, I have a talk in Klang. Will you guys would like to follow me? I'm just trying my luck actually, because they never been to mosque. So they say, okay, why not? I was like, yes. But then in the same time, I was like, I have not asked the permission from the organizer. You know, a non-Muslim should not enter mosque back in Malaysia. They are very sensitive. Okay? They are very sensitive. So I make a mistake. I invited my parents without getting the consent, the approval from the mosque. Now I have another problem. I called the organizer. I said I will be bringing my mom and my dad. Obviously, my mom and my dad, my mom would not be covering herself in hijab. She's a non-Muslim. Are you okay? So they say, okay. They are most welcome. So I brought my mom and my dad to my own talk in Klang. And the moment they step in, after we finished the entire talk, the entire program, when we were in the car, the feedback from my mom and my dad is that they say, hey, the mosque so clean, huh? Number one. Hey, the Muslim very friendly, huh? Number three, they say, the Muslim very disciplined, huh? Because the moment they reach the mosque, the committee members of the mosque is there to welcome them already. And then when they're sitting there, they are sitting there to talk to them, to help them in whatever they need. And then after we finish, I didn't receive any fruits from them, from the organizer, but both of my parents received fruits. Where is the justice? I'm supposed to be the one who receive it, right? But it's okay. And then time to time, and now, alhamdulillah, my family, my parents, they follow me to my program. And time to time, my mom will call me and ask me, you know, when is your next program? Tell me, I want to follow you. Now I'm doing an open da'wah to them. And most probably my sister is watching too. My mom don't understand English. My dad don't really understand. He can speak a bit of English. It's an open da'wah. I have invited them for a few years. Because I've been doing da'wah for quite some time. So I asked them, so when you want to become a Muslim? He said, let me think about it. So I asked them, do you think your son has become a bad person after becoming a Muslim? He said, no, you have changed. You have changed. Okay? So if you can see that I have changed and I have become a better person now, why don't you accept this religion that can make me become a better person? He said, let me think about it. My father will answer sometime, you know, I've been in Buddhism for quite some time. It's very difficult. I say, it's not about how difficult. Take time. Almost every single time when I met them, I will ask them, Mom, Dad, when? Sometimes my mom say, I'm not very fluent in Malay. I say, no worry about Malay what? Become a Muslim, you don't really have to speak Malay. There are how many Chinese in China who can't even speak Malay? They are Muslim too. You know why they are afraid about they cannot speak Malay? Because they're afraid after they die, this is a Chinese mindset, especially the elderly, is that if after they die, they are being buried in the Malay, in the Muslims' graveyard, they can no longer have a coffee talk with their neighbors. Because their neighbors speak Malay, they speak Chinese. Yeah, it's true. This is their concern. This is their concern. Then my mom sometimes will say, no, I'm not ready to wear hijab. I say, no worry, mom. Hijab is wajib, but then, take time. I've been trying. But the guidance has not come. I believe the guidance has been there for them. It's just up to them when they want to accept. And I told you guys just now that I never kissed them before. But Islam brought change, and parents will become more acceptance for us to become a Muslim. They will become more supportive when they saw the changes in us. Because they do da'wah. I can give you the answer now. But you know what? I choose not to answer your questions now. You know why? Because I will have another sessions on Sunday to deal with these issues in details. So I will not give you this answer for this question. I would love you guys to come on Sunday for that particular talk, because I will be talking about how not to convert people. A lot of people have misconception. I will share with you very, very simple. Do you agree with me? Before we pass the mic to another question. But not because I say it's simple. Don't trust what I say. Trust your own ears and trust your own eyes. Coming this Sunday, inshallah. Hope I answer your question on Sunday, inshallah. Jazakallah khair. Wallahu a'lam. Done? Okay. So before I pass the mic back to Malaysia on Tuesday. Jazakumullah khairan. Subhanaka wa bihamdika. Asyhadu an